welcome back to another episode of Polite as Fuck. If you're tuning in today, I need everybody to stop what you're doing and go wish Erica happy birthday! It's your fucking birthday.
Whoa.
Yeah. If you haven't already done so, today is Erica's 28th birthday.
Oh, crazy.
That was a cute note.
Oh, that's wild.
So we have our birthday special that we're doing today, which I'm so excited for, because now the attention is on you and all the
I'm
questions
like
are
sweating.
on you. I love it. Yeah, how do you feel?
Feels
do you feel
weird.
Older?
No.
Any grays yet?
In my eyebrows. I'm telling you, I'm getting them in my eyebrows. I showed Ellie the other day the longest eyebrow hair. It was literally curling over. I'm like an old man.
I was more surprised at the curl than I was of the color.
The root? The
Yeah.
root was white.
I feel like, yeah, it's fine. Eyebrows don't count.
Well, I think all the hair on my head is not gray. Knock on wood. But, yeah, I'm feeling good. I feel like the most in touch with myself than I have in years, which is great.
That's
all
awesome.
I can ask for, really.
Yeah, speaking of eyebrow.
There we go. Thanks.
Probably not eyebrow, eyelash. I don't know why I said that.
I mean, maybe it was my eyebrow.
Maybe. No, that's fantastic. I think that's like a celebration in and of itself.
Thanks. Yeah. It's been a long journey.
Yeah.
Long way to go, but I'm feeling good.
I love that. Well, let's dive in. Should we do it?
Okay.
So
What is it?
So I wanted to start off with the same kind of questions or things that we started off for mine, because I genuinely want to know, and I thought they were so good, of like the questions that you asked. Like books, movies, all of that stuff. So I know for mine, you tried to guess mine and then you answer, so I'm gonna try to do the same. So we'll see how well it goes, but it's kind of shitty, or not shitty, but like the first one is movie, and we were just talking about,
I needed help.
it's okay. So based on like what we were talking about, I'm gonna go with, for your movie for this year, I'm going to say Barbie.
Yes. It was between Barbie and Poor Things.
Poor Things, yeah.
Yeah. But I
Which
think...
was weird. That was so... I loved it.
It was weird, but it was good. But I feel like Barbie was more like... I related more to a lot in there.
Yeah. Very teary, very... I think we... Not quote it, but like, at least I think about it on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. Love it.
And I also liked in Barbie, even though, yeah, it was like women empowerment, blah, blah, blah. But I also liked the, like, speaking for men, too. Like, on the Ken side of things. I feel like all around, it was just, like, a good perspective of the world.
Yeah. I loved
people's feelings.
Sorry, I have to go back to this. Scroll through all of our messages.
I text Ellie a lot. It's a lot of one way. I just send her things.
I love them. Okay, show. So this one's hard because I know you watch a lot. Well, we both watch a lot of shows, but we're like very different in our shows. But I was gonna say the London movie at first, or show, the gang one.
Peaky Blinders?
No. The more like recent, it's
Top Boy?
Top Boy, yeah. I was gonna say Top Boy, but I really like the show that we're rewatching right now that you've watched before. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say that one.
No, I actually wrote down two, but I think the one that I'm leaning most towards is One Day.
Fuck, I forgot about that. How could I
have
forget?
not sobbed that hard in so long.
Yeah.
That was like, it was so, I don't even know if relatable is the word. It was just like raw, and I could feel it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is brutal, and this is life, and this is beautiful, and all the things.
Yeah. And her journey, and then his journey.
Yeah.
And just like...
And like, it wouldn't have worked if they got together when they, like, in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, they needed all their own time, which I feel like sometimes I think about, like, I don't know, if I would have gotten married when I was, like, 21 or 22, like I thought I was going to do, like how different I am now, and how much I needed this space and time for myself.
Experience.
Yeah.
Like they needed that. And I love I talked about this before, like when shows or movies make you feel something, but also I love when I can love characters but also hate them too. And I feel like there were multiple episodes for both of the two characters where I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Annoying.
You're so yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. That's good. That's good.
That was my show.
That's better than the ones I said. Book. This one's hard too, because I will have to say, we did a lot of reading this year.
Yeah, the one I picked we haven't talked about, so I'm just going to tell you right now.
Okay, just tell me, because I don't think I'll know.
I don't think I've mentioned it to you before. It was called Hello Beautiful.
Oh,
yeah.
Didn't even know.
I went through my Goodreads because I was like, all right, Hello Beautiful by Anne Napolitano.
Okay.
Like, yes, A Court of Thunder and Roses, so fun, loved, and then like Iron Flame or whatever, really fun, and the other books we read, but this one, it's kind of in the same vein as like One Day, just with like these two sisters and this one basketball player guy, and I don't know, it was just like a story of life, and like I related to both of the sisters. I related to the whole family, but without giving too much away, like one of the sisters marries this guy, and she's very much like a planner. Like, this is what she had planned for her life. Like, she's great, but she was just like, go, 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 this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And the other sister is like more exploratory and just like wanting to figure out like for herself, and I feel like really sees people because she's not so much like planning. Mm-hmm. And it's really good, and it made me cry, and
I love that.
Hello Beautiful.
Gotta read it. Yeah, I was gonna say A Court, but then I was like, I don't know. I feel like as much as I loved those books, something that, I mean, obviously our podcast is kind of like a recording of, obviously, of, like a statement, something that we can go back to and listen to. And as much as we loved those books, I think there were so many other books that you have read this year that I think are like more powerful. And so I was like, what else have we been reading?
We really talked about fairies and dragons a lot, but it was other things.
Yeah. Okay, color. So this is, I don't really know if this is not, I don't even think it's your favorite color. I know it's not your favorite color, or has been. We haven't talked about it, but I feel like when I think of you, when I think of like a color and like your aura, I feel like sunshine. Like, when you look at the sun, I know you're not supposed to do that.
And it burns your eyes.
And you become blind. But like, you obviously the sun, but then like around it is like that ring. Lighter. Yeah, I feel like that's your aura. And so I think like when I think of a color and this year and like everything that you've gone through and experienced, I think of that color. So I know that's not the question, but I just wanted to tell you that.
Well, that's very sweet. Thank you. Yeah. I want to go look at the sun now. To see that.
Just stare at the sun.
But no, I didn't put that color. I put a coral pink.
Cute, like your hat?
Yeah, when you handed me this, I was like, does she know?
And no, I didn't.
Ellie
but
just picked a hat. We have other colors when she gave me this one. Yeah.
That's so interesting.
And I do have like this color on my bedspread and stuff, so it's not like I haven't liked it in the past, but I feel like I haven't really thought about it. And more recently, like, I've been wearing more pink, and I like pink.
Yeah. Did you try out your pink lipstick yet?
Yeah.
How was it? Oh, it's on. Oh, cool.
It's very subtle, but yeah.
Love it. Love colors. A snack, easy, Dots pretzels. If this is not it, I'm gonna be so no.
You were actually, that is true, because I think I was thinking more recently of my whole 27th year of life. I ate multiple bags of Dots pretzels, so that's more accurate. I had put jalapeno potato chips.
I would have never guessed that in a million years.
That's been more recent.
Okay. I saw that and I was like, Dots. Yeah. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, Dots is right. You know me better.
Drink? I don't know. When I think of you and I think of a drink, I'm like kombucha. Just like some sort of kombucha. I don't know what kind, but it's the booch.
Yeah, I did have that go through my mind.
But it's not.
Instead I wrote the honey lavender latte from Seven Seas.
Love.
I love that one.
I know. That one is your
so
favorite.
good.
Wow. Okay, Ellie. Get it together.
Well, drinks, there's so much variety, and I do love kombucha.
Yeah, but a coffee, we do know how to drink some fucking coffee in this house.
I feel like I've never drank as much coffee as I have living with you. No. I'm like, wow, this is great. I love this morning ritual.
I went to the dentist pretty recently, and they're like, so do you, like, drink coffee and smoke? And I'm like, yes. Yeesh. Activity. You've been doing so many activities lately. It's kind of hard to choose one. I know you are doing like a lot of obviously running, biking, and swimming for your triathlon. So I tried not to choose those because I know you're doing it for the triathlon. So I'm sure it's one of those. But I said surfing just because I know that is where you find like peace and you enjoy being in the water. Mm-hmm. But I do know that you like doing those other activities, for the record.
You're right. If I can't pick, I did put running first because I've been loving running more and more recently. I think because I'm not like killing myself running anymore, which I'm like, oh, this is actually a pleasant experience.
Yeah.
But then I was like, wait, but I really love long bike rides. Wait, but I really love swimming. And I think I'm enjoying all of these because I'm not doing just one all the time.
Yeah.
But surfing, yeah. Anytime we're out in the water, I'm like so happy.
Yeah. Also, if you're listening to this and you have already messaged or called Erica happy birthday, I need you to stop what you're doing and message again wishing her good luck because in a few days she has her half Ironman.
Yeah.
Which is like,
thanks.
How are you feeling? I know. Wait, actually, I'll ask that in a second. Let me just finish this. Stay on. Stay. And then place. Honestly,
this is so hard for me.
there are so many things. I think like a coffee shop like 7C's or another one that maybe you've been to that we haven't been together because I know you like going to those places, but I'm also like, you go to those places so that you can like focus and have coffee and get like work done. So I'm like, don't know if that's like top of your list. And then I was going to say like the ocean or the beach. But I'm like, that's too close to the activity. I don't know. Those are mine.
Your thought process is great. That was literally my train of thought was like coffee shops. I just feel like I love going to new ones. I love sitting in them. I love the vibes. But then I was like, that's basic. And then I was like, the ocean. And I was like, I need to be more specific. So then I was thinking the bike rides that we've been doing along the coast, like through Torrey Pines and up through like Encinitas, that has just been so lovely.
Pretty, I bet, yeah.
And like you're getting exercise, you're looking at the ocean. Like I love that. So that's where I landed. And then if I had to pick like a foreign place, Croatia. I really want to go back. I've never been to the sea. And the sea is so different than the ocean.
Yeah.
You're just like, it's so salty and you just float and it's so calm. And
I'm saying yeah, like I know.
I mean, I didn't know. Maybe you've been.
No.
Yeah.
But that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Those are my places. Water
Places, baby. A few other questions for you. What would you say out of all like, I know you're a music person. So if you could kind of give this past year like a theme song, what would be your theme song?
Wow.
I'll give you 10 seconds.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding.
Just give me like 30.
Okay,
actually, I'm not even looking at it right now, but there's this song by Chris Lake. It's not even sentimental at all. It literally just makes me crazy.
Which we love.
And I can't play it because I don't want us to get banned, but it's called More, Baby.
Oh, yes. I think you've played this for me.
Like, give me more energy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Keep going.
I feel like, yeah, that's my theme song. It just, like, gets me excited. It's like, I'm doing more. I'm doing all of the things that I've been saying I've wanted to be doing. I think getting laid off the last, like, 6 months, I've been able to, like, do way more.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I got a job.
I won't clap. That was probably really loud.
Start and be able to, like, I have all these habits now, and hopefully I can continue them with the job and, like, keep doing more.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm nervous.
Don't be. These are good ones. I really, really like these. So I wanted to ask a few, again, because I know like, as much as I'm going to say the same thing, I'm literally repeating myself, but I just love it so much. Like, I love our podcast. I love that it's an opportunity for us to, like, I don't know, say whatever the fuck we feel like and have, like, people relate. But also, like, looking back, even the past, like, we've been doing this for a little over a year, and I just feel like, I don't know, it's like timestamps of like, this is like where I was. It is. It's literally like a video journal, and I love that. And so for me, like, sometimes I listen back, even though mine was only, 2 months ago, of like where I was at and how I was feeling when you were asking me some of these questions. And so I'm like, this would be awesome to have so that next year and the years to come, you can look back and be like, oh my gosh, this is where I was. So this first question is very similar to the one that I just asked you about the music. But if this year was a chapter in your story of life, what would the name be?
The first word that came to mind is evolution, which like...
Which I see where your mind goes.
Yeah, I like physically have lost weight in the last year, which is like the year prior I gained a lot of weight because I think I was just like not really taking care of myself. And this year I've evolved like physically. I think I've evolved a ton mentally, even in the last like 8 months, maybe 6 to 8 months, because like you guys, if you listen to my dating episode, went on a lot of dates, and I feel like I got off the apps in like August or September of last year, and it's been really good, I think, for me to be like reflecting on that more and how much energy and time I was putting into those dates and like making them happen, and now putting all that into me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, even though I was like I was confident and like I felt like in a good headspace, I was still like giving more than I was like letting myself receive. And I feel like I've evolved that way too, of like, if as much as I am not a big proponent of like, if he wanted to he would type person, I do think that like there is a little bit of a pursuit that needs to be happening. You know?
I fully know. I fully believe that. You know my thoughts.
I know. So I've evolved to think more that way. Yeah, just evolved all around, I think.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a good one. So thinking back to this past year, what are some, like, let's just say 4 or 5, like, key moments of your life that you kind of think of when you think of this past year?
Key moments.
More like milestones, I would say.
Milestones. Honestly, getting laid off is like a huge one, because I've been talking when I was working at my previous job about how like I just want to quit. I just need time. Like, I'm so burnt out. I don't even enjoy what I'm doing anymore. And then this other job like kind of fell into my lap, and so I was like, I should take this. This is a good opportunity, and it was. But then when I got laid off, I was kind of like, finally, like,
the break.
Finally, the break is here that I've been wanting for the last like 2 years. I finally have it. And like, I think having all the trips planned that I did, it was like perfect timing. And even though that's not necessarily like a milestone of like an accomplishment or something that I did, that was really big for me. And I think really changed my life the last like, I don't even know, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Yeah, 8 months.
Yeah.
I've been laid off for 8 months. That was crazy. That's almost a year.
Almost, not quite.
That's over half a year. What else? Training for this triathlon has been a big milestone. I've talked about it a little bit, of like the mental shift that I've had in terms of like just working out in general and like enjoying it and not being so beating myself up for like PRing every single day. Or like if I don't go out and run the hardest I've ever run, then it's like a waste or like not a good workout. Like, it's been a huge shift in my mindset. I was watching actually a good movie that was a documentary that I watched recently was Breaking 2. Have you heard of that? It came out a few years ago about the this team at Nike that like rallied a bunch of really elite long distance runners to try and break the 2-hour marker in the marathon. which is just like, my mind cannot even fathom. That's like a 4-minute something pace per mile for 26 miles. I was literally crying on the couch watching it because, one, that's just like so inspiring to me that like people can push themselves to do that. But a quote, and I took a picture of it, that one, the guy who ended up he did it in 2 hours and 25 seconds. Just like, but also like what? And his best time before that had been like 2 hours and 4 minutes or something. Holy he dropped like that much time, even in crazy. But it's not even that astounding of a quote. But he just said 100% of me is nothing compared to 1% of the whole team, and like he was training with people all the time. Mm-hmm. And like us swimming together, like even the other day, it's like I wouldn't have pushed myself or done that workout if you weren't there with me.
You know how many times I was like, I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna get out. Like you just don't.
Yeah. And so it's like, even though we're not like in a team sport anymore, I think you can still have that like camaraderie and like community in sports. And I like, that's something that's like shaped our foundation. And so rediscovering that again in my adult life has been really nice.
Ooh. Because you're doing this triathlon. I mean, like, yes, there are guys that are doing this like with the group that you're training, but it's just like what's been so nice for me, and I think the whole like friend group, especially like on the women's side of it, is the fact that like these women, strong women in the friend group that we do all party with, do drink with, do all of these things, are now coming together as a team to train for this like really incredible thing. Mm-hmm. And I think that in itself is just like empowering and gives you like, I don't know, I love it.
Yeah.
If you could choose maybe 2 or 3 of your favorite memories from this past year, what would you say those are?
Okay. Camping with you was a great one.
There's something about milestones and like birthdays that make me want to cry. This whole episode I want to cry, and I'm like, we're not even talking about camping. I'm like, Ellie, stop. It's not even your day. Shut up.
No, but you shared like most of this year with me.
No.
So you can cry.
Okay.
Too. I think our camping trips were some of my favorite memories. I mean, we went camping for my birthday last year, which was so fun. Vegas. It's just, the Vegas experience. I'd never had it before.
And with the girls.
And with the girls, and going to, like, I don't know, just, like, being crazy, dancing with people that I love, having so much fun, hanging out by the pool, recovering. Like, it's just fun.
Yeah,
I see why people like Vegas.
Gravitate, yeah, I know. I fucking love Vegas.
I would not do that every weekend, but it was a great time. And then I think that Croatia trip that I went on, for a plethora of reasons, like, I wouldn't have signed up for the Ironman if I didn't go on that trip. Because I was talking with a friend, Scott, who recently completed a full Ironman. And I'm not one to be like, oh yeah, and I've done marathons, and I don't talk about that unless someone asks, and he like has seen the magnet on my car or something and was like, haven't you done like a half before? And was asking me like, why don't you do it again? Like, why haven't you done it? And I had mentioned like, I do better when I have something I'm training for. Like, I feel more motivated to do it. And I think that little like push from him to just like, if you sign up, he was like, if you sign up in the next 2 weeks, if you change your mind, there's something where it's like a flex. I don't know. It was like early enough to where I could push it out if I wanted to. So it also felt like I wasn't like fully,
committing to something. Yeah.
So that was, I think that trip was like really good for me in like seeing the world, but also just like connecting with people who I haven't really hung out with him or like the other people on that trip before, and their perspective and like things that they mentioned to me were really helpful and what I needed in that time. So that was really cool. The last one would be probably the time I had back home with family most recently, because I didn't have a job and I literally I was like, I can stay for as long as I want. I have nothing to come back to. I can drive up to Reno anytime and hang out with you. Like, making plans with my siblings around their schedule when worked for them, because I had the ability to do so, was so nice. And just, like, spending time with my parents and spending New Year's with most of my siblings. Like, that was really fun.
I love that. Those are good ones.
Thanks.
What were your greatest achievements this past year?
Achievements, I feel like to me are a little bit like the milestones, but I was looking at some of my pictures just now, and like my sister Julia came to visit, my mom came to visit, and I feel like having the space to be able to host them, having the mental like capacity to be able to like be present with them and entertain them, and like having the community that I feel like I've built here to be able to introduce them to. Like, I think all of those things have been a culmination of the last like few years of me living here. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that is an achievement for me to be able to have that, because like they visited before, and I feel like these trips were a lot different than anyone that has come before, just because of like all the work that I've put in and like the time that I've invested in building that. And obviously living with you and having the space that we have is great. And then I saw the Be Bold bingo card in there. And not that that's like some crazy achievement, but I feel like because of this podcast and like our friendship and the things that we like try and push ourselves to do, and having you like in my corner to be able to be like, well, let's go do it, you know? Mm-hmm. I think putting myself out there more and like being bold. Like, not that Blackout Wednesday was an accomplishment.
But also it was.
But also we talk about it a lot because it was like
our first time that we were like, we initiated everything from start to finish.
Yeah.
Trailed off there at the end for a reason.
But I think it showed me at least of like,
I can do it.
We can do this fully.
And be somewhat successful.
I'd say it was a success for you.
Yeah, something happened. I think I know this one, but describe a significant challenge you faced this year and how you grew from it.
Ooh, what do you think that it is?
I think it's you getting laid off.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know. After hearing what you were just saying about getting laid off, it's true. I think ever since, even before when I came to visit you, when we like really started to talk more, I mean, we've always talked, but not like it's been the past. Yeah, not like this. And just like seeing, you know, you work when you were working at that other place, and when I came to visit you, like it was something that you were talking about for a long time, about like just taking some time to figure out like, where the fuck am I in life? Like, where am I going? What's happening here? And then you had made some like big life changes, and like you said, this other job opportunity fell in your lap, and I think you felt, I don't know, I'm putting words in your mouth, but from me, it was like you almost felt like obligated to take it because you weren't sure if you were ready to have that like time and space. There weren't other people in your life, like friend-wise, that were taking that time. And then you started to work and you're like, wait, this is like, I don't know. You're like, not that you weren't passionate. You're very, very good at your job, but you also, it just was not the same.
I didn't care.
And so even though I think you being laid off like was difficult, you had trips planned that you were looking forward to, and it wasn't like, it didn't feel like watching this like you process it, it didn't feel like your legs got swept up from under you. It was kind of like, yeah, this is sad, my life is about to shift. You like had a moment and then you're like, okay. You know, so I think maybe, I don't know, so I don't know if this was maybe the biggest challenge you faced this year.
I feel like the past like 2 months, 3 months, it's felt like a challenge, because it's like, all right, there's no trips planned. I don't know when my next paycheck's coming in. So I can't just be like, yeah, let me go do all the things, because I don't have money coming in. So I have to like stretch this as long as I can, which is fine. But it also was, I mean, I was bored, but I was also like, okay, the things that I would want to do to like entertain myself or to like try something, even like going rock climbing, it's like, that's expensive. Like the things that I'm like, I have time to be doing this, but I can't say yes to all the things.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Or even really anything. Because I need to have groceries.
Yeah.
And pay my rent. So that, I felt it more the last few months. But I think, honestly, the biggest challenge?
Mm-hmm.
The biggest challenge for me was, like, figuring out my own boundaries and confidence in dating.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I mentioned earlier, like, I went on so many dates. I got a lot of great stories. I was freaking exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, as much as I can, like, laugh about it, it was also, like, this is not working. Whatever, my approach to this isn't working, and I can't keep doing it this way. And I feel like, yeah, these last 6 months have been a lot of, like, what am I going to do about that?
How do you feel like you've grown from that challenge?
I feel like I'm honestly, like, not that I wasn't okay not dating before.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't really go on dates the year prior. But I was also dumped that year. So I feel like there is, like, not that anyone has any expectations. But then last year it was like, all right, I'm ready to get back out there and try again. And I was just like, I think I convinced myself that I had changed. But I was still doing all the things that had not worked in my relationship in the dating scene.
Mm-hmm.
With over-functioning for people and, like, making them make plans. And, like, if they're not interested or if they're not, like, secure or know what they want, like, stop, Erica. Stop doing it. So I feel like I've grown the most in that way of, like, I mean, even recently, you know, the stupid men that have been like, let's hang out. And then they text at, like, 8:30 or, like, I was supposed to hang out with someone today, never heard. Like, it's like, I'm not going to reach out to you.
Yeah.
You initiated this. You can follow up and...
When you were on the phone,
plan.
I fully thought that's who you were on the phone with. I was like, wow, okay. And then you got off the phone, and you're like, nope. I was like, oh.
No, it's like... And I honestly am fine.
Yeah.
Like, as annoying as it is, it's like, no, I'm not going to waste my time and energy trying to push you to follow through with your commitments. Because if you can't do that for a silly little date, like going to coffee, then that would not work long term.
Yeah. Because it's something that's so important to you.
Yeah.
Looking back, is there anything you would have done differently this year? I, like, hate this question because I know I don't really, like, you can't, obviously, so what's the point of thinking about it? But I don't care. I want to know.
Anything I would have done differently? Well, honestly, if I would have known I was getting laid off, I would have taken more time off when I was still getting paid. Like, I went to Colombia last year, which was really fun. But I'm literally in the jungle trying to do work. Like, the Wi-Fi's cutting out. I'm, like, trying to figure out if I can, like... It was still a really great trip. But I would have just taken that whole time off because I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be fully present. But obviously, can't predict the future or change the past. Probably would have done more mushrooms and less drinking.
That's something you learned, I think.
Yeah. Like, I am not really sure what my relationship with alcohol is going to be after this race. But I haven't drank this whole year. And it's been really nice. And I feel like it's that initial part in a social setting where you just, like, you know, let's take a shot. Which I still am, like, that girl. But I can be that way without, like, having to be hungover the next day, you know?
I'm proud of you, too.
Thanks. And I say this because I don't have self-control in party settings. I mean, I do. I'm making an excuse. But, like, we go to parties. If I start drinking, I just want to, like, you know? Because this is a toxic thinking, but I'm like, if I'm going to have one drink, like, what is the point?
Yeah.
Why not have 7?
I get that. I think it's also hard too. Like, I know everybody, like, we went to a dinner party recently and everybody was like, oh my gosh, look at all of our, like, NAs. We're all NA drinkers. And I'm like, yeah, that's great at a dinner party. But I think it's hard, like, to have that. It's almost like your security blanket of to have a drink and have that little buzz and feel good and stuff. And I think it's hard, like, too, it's been a journey for me as well to realize, like, everybody's in a different position in their life. Like, I hear you talk about it and I'm like, I look at you and I'm like, but you don't even drink, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just, it's a lot of, like, in here and how you're feeling after with, like, the hangover and then the anxiety. Like, it's all real and it all contributes. And I think a lot more people are feeling that way and kind of disconnecting from alcohol, which I think is wonderful. But it's just like how you're, like, what your relationship is with it. And that just, like, when you're in that social setting or, like, in that party scene, I don't know, it's kind of like just a way to fit in, you know, of, like, let me just feel, like, a little bit more comfortable by, like, you know, taking the edge off and all these things. Yeah. And it's hard to navigate that. And then when you take that security blanket away, you know, what's left? How do you act? What do you do? Yeah. It's definitely a challenge.
Yeah. Which is why you take drugs.
What are you most grateful for this year?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'll let you think.
I mean, I don't think I need to think that hard. I feel like I'm most grateful for my friendships in my life. Like you. I can't look at you.
I can't look at you either.
I'm already crying enough about you. Yeah. In a good way.
Got enough of tears from you. Oh gosh.
But honestly, like, the last year, like, this has felt like home. Okay.
I'm gonna look over here while you talk.
And, like, when you go out of town or something, I'm like, where's Ellie?
Yeah.
But enough about that. My other friends are great too. I feel like I've just, like, prioritized time with friends and made a lot of great memories with friends. Friends have gotten married. Friends have gotten engaged. Like, exciting things, and to be, like, in a good headspace to genuinely be excited for them and to feel like, I mean, when you're younger and immature, there's, like, this, like, envy or whatever. And I don't think I ever really experienced it that horribly, but it's, like, I genuinely only feel love and, like, happiness for these people in my life. And having them succeed and having them, like, working towards goals and, like, being stoked for them. Yeah, I don't even remember what your question was, but I'm grateful for all that.
Okay, yeah. That's what it was. What are you most proud of from this year?
Getting my group fitness certification. I feel like I've been wanting to do that. I've been talking about how, like, before I moved to San Diego, I was in the best shape of my life, and like, I loved that job. I loved coaching and doing marketing, and, like, damn, I wish I could, and, okay, I was annoying myself with how much I was, like, thinking that way and not doing anything about it, and then I, like, signed up for the class while I was still working my other job, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do that later, even got laid off, went on all these trips, and then I was talking with my friend, and she was like, why don't you just, like, set a date for yourself of, like, I'm going to finish the test by this time? Because I feel like I just am a procrastinator. And if I don't have, like, a deadline or something holding me to it, it's like, we'll do that tomorrow. I mean, my taxes, I keep pushing them off. I need to do those soon. Like, but it's like, I know I have till April 15th or whatever. So I got a little bit of time.
So you have a date.
But I finished it and, like, took the test, applied for a few places, came back, got a job, and have been coaching, and it's like, oh, this thing that I've been, like, missing, and now I have that again, and I'm really proud of myself for finally doing it.
Hell yeah. If you could go back to this time last year, what advice or what would you tell yourself?
Well, around this time last year was when your sister came and visited us. And I've told Ellie that those pictures that we took at the flower field are my least favorite photos I've ever taken of myself. I just look so uncomfortable in my body. And I don't think that I was. Like, I don't think I realized how much I was. Like, I just look at myself and I'm like, girl. So I feel like I would have told myself to, like, along the lines of what I've been saying, of, like, stop putting all this energy and attention into people that you don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
To, like, I don't know, have a fun experience and, like, put that time and energy into yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because not that I was, like, falling off and, like, not taking care of myself at all. But I definitely was not, like, I didn't really have anything I was working towards. I hadn't signed up for the class yet. I didn't have, like, this Ironman. Like, these things all came later. But I feel like I could have gotten on it sooner if I did that.
Love that. And then this question, I love this question when you asked me, because I think it's the one that made me cry.
Oh,
but
no.
if in 5 years from now, or like in the future, what would you say to your future self? I think you said 5 years. I think that's a good amount of time. I think 10 is too much.
33. Wow. What would I tell my future self as myself now?
Yeah, I think that was my advice, or your advice to me. I can't remember now.
I think that's right.
Yeah, like if you got a snapshot of like who you were then, what would you say?
Knowing what I know now,
Mm-hmm.
what would I tell future me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry, I'm really wanting to be eloquent with my words.
It's okay.
Wow, there's so many things going through my mind. I feel like I always think about how, like, I'm the only one that I'm going to live with forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I tell myself that a lot. Sometimes in a depressing way. But most of the time in a good way of, like, come on, Erica.
Gotta have balance.
But I feel like there's never an age limit on starting something or, like, trying again or, you know, like, I did the half Ironman when I was 21 years old, and that's really cool. But that doesn't mean that because I haven't done it in the last, like, 7 years that, like, I've missed the cutoff window. And I think, like, watching that documentary, the guy that did that marathon is, like, 35. Like, that he did the 2-hour marathon. And it's, like, crazy.
Yeah.
It's, like, I think that sometimes as much as I tell other people, don't believe it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Of, like, you missed your window or, like, it's whatever. But it's not too late to learn anything, to start something new, or to try it again, or to pick something back up. And the reason I'm bringing up, like, you're only living with yourself forever is because I hope that I hope that in 5 years I'm not where I was, like, a few years ago, which was, like, the lowest of my life. Because I just stopped taking care of myself. And I think I'm, like, on the come up of that, and I don't want that to go back down. So just, like, keep doing things that you enjoy and that you're passionate about, and saying yes to things and taking care of yourself.
I love that.
There were other thoughts in there, but they've all escaped. So that was... I think that's what I wanted to say. Just blacked out.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love you. I'm so proud of you. You did so much this year, and I think it's really fantastic. I'm so happy to be living with you.
Me too.
And I'm excited to continue this next year of life with you, too.
28. I have a good feeling. 28 is a good year for us.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I need to close this out. Well, thanks for all the birthday love. Assuming you've said something to
Which
me.
you better.
But happy April. And if you want to follow us on social media, we're on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Polite as Fun Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you next week.